Okay, the first thing is going to be resumes and cover letters. Once you have a list of possible employment opportunities, prepare a resume and cover letter specific to each organization or business. The difference between a resume and a cover letter. So the resume is a document that you present to a prospective employer that lists your qualifications for employment. You may have to submit a resume and a resume only. I think the last two actual jobs that I actually worked for someone else, I don't think I even filled out an application. It was, here's my resume. They look at your resume. They get all your information from there. You fill out your documents, your federal, state documents from there. So, and the cover letter introduces you and indicates why you want to work for the company. So the resume, brief, concise, honest, and relevant to the position. Those were my resumes were. I didn't add in every single job I ever had, just the most recent ones that I had that are going to have relative information to the position that you are applying for. Um, the information on the resume usually includes the following: contact information, name, address, telephone information, and email address. This is usually in boldface and can be the header of the resume. A profile of the position for which you are applying, or a summary of who you are, include expertise, experience, and personal attributes that make you a good candidate for the position. Your qualifications for that specific position you're applying for, credentials held such as licensure, national certification, insurance certifications for modalities you are able to perform. Um, Include a list of schools and seminars you have attended, all of those continuing education classes that, let's say this is down the line, or whether you took continuing education classes before you've applied for this position. You want to include all of those. Those are your experiences, and that helps bolster your resume. Um, you may include the number of hours and the main techniques or skills you learned. Your employment history. I would just list the ones that are relevant to the position you're applying for. So no, if you've had a whole bunch of jobs, I wouldn't list every single one of them. Just the ones that are relevant. Affiliations, awards, and articles. If you've written any kind of educational courses, I would include those as well. References. Your references should be 2 or 3 individuals, including their contact information, who are well acquainted with you and can speak to your positive qualifications. Okay, and try to limit your resume to 1 page. After that, people are, I mean, it's very easy to get all your qualifications in 1 page. So I would limit it to that if you possibly can. Okay, so the cover letter. The resume should be accompanied by a cover letter that is addressed specifically to the prospective employer to whom you're applying. So if you need to make any updates, that definitely do some updates and make it specific to that employer. Okay, the purpose of the cover letter serves as an introduction that tells the company who you are, the position for which you're applying, and how you heard about the job and why you should be hired. Tailor the letter to each respective employer. Form letters are never effective when you're trying to make a good impression. And the cover letter has 3 basic sections. The introduction, begin by introducing yourself and stating the position in which you are interested. The body, describe how your skills are suited to the job and are of benefit to the business. In the closing, express your appreciation for the time and consideration. Indicate your interest in an interview or state that you will contact them in the near future to request an appointment for an interview, or make a note, and call to follow up after a few days, allowing each time for them to receive and examine your documents. That follow up call is important. Sometimes people get busy, and sometimes they can mean to call. I know I have a habit of that. Mean to call and then don't call, and then I forget. So if I was getting people to apply for a position, which I am, I appreciate a call in the day or two after, because it very well could be I overlooked it or I got busy and things fell to the wayside. So employers do appreciate a call after. Okay, so once you have spoken to the employer, here comes the interview. So after presenting the resume and the cover letter to a prospective employer, and before being hired, there will be probably be an interview where a representative for the employer meets with the job applicant to determine if he or she might be a good fit for the business. So the interviewer might be an owner or a manager of the business or a part of the company's human resources department. The purpose of the interview is an opportunity for the employer to get to know the prospective employee and for the applicant to find out more about the business and the position. I would use this time to ask as many questions as possible. You don't want anything sneaking up on you about the business. Everything that all the information that they give you, I would have a follow-up question to ask detailed information, unless it's pretty straightforward. Okay, this is a chance for the employee to impress upon the employer that their personality, interests, and skills not only qualify them for the position, but also will be an asset to the business. Okay, so before meeting with the potential employer, learn as much about the company and the position as possible. Go online, look on their website, get as much information about them as possible. Most websites are very detailed. They even include the employees that are there, how long they've been in the business, all kinds of things like that. So make sure you look on their website and get all the information that you can about them before getting there. Ask questions about things that you don't understand on their website, or if you just have questions in general. And if possible, visit the business as a customer to see and experience the services offered and get a feel for the way the business operates. I heavily advise this right here. Going into a spa before you work there and seeing how things work in that business, you'll get enlightened about some things. It will make you either want to work there or just get out of there and never want to work there again. So I do advise going there as a customer. Yes. Oh, and absolutely ask the employees about what's it like to work here. Questions like that. The receptionist, they're a boatload of information. So just have a little chat as you're checking out, and see what it's like to work there. You'll get a whole lot of information about these places. So I would ask those questions. This type of information helps when formulating questions that you might have for the interviewer. Be prepared when you come to the interview. Be ready to answer questions about your career goals, what qualifies you for the position, or how you would be a benefit to the company. And this is something I always do. I always make notes inside my notes in my phone. If I know I'm going to have all these questions, make notes. Don't try to remember everything that you have questions about. Make notes about it, and do not be afraid to whip out those questions right there on that phone and ask those questions so that you're clear and concise about the questions that you need to ask. I guarantee you they will appreciate you being prepared for the interview. Okay, so the questions that you may want to ask are the responsibilities of the job. Be very specific. If they're not specific in the information there of how you got the list of duties in the job posting, I would make sure that I ask the job's responsibilities. And like I said, get very specific about this. You want to know what they're going to have you doing on a day-to-day basis. What type of clientele you'll be working on, what kinds of massages are advertised or performed, and will you have to do every single one of them that are on there. Some of these spas out here, they make up their own ways of doing massages. So ask, do you need to perform this specific massage in that specific way, or is it can I do this massage in the way that I know how to do it? Are you going to trust me to do this massage in the way that I know how to do it, or do I have to do it exactly how you would like me to? So ask those questions in your interview. Dress and act like a professional. Appearance is a first impression and is vital to a successful interview. Okay, so be sure to bring any documentation you may need to interview, including the following: a current massage license, proof of liability insurance, a picture ID, social security number. They may hire you right on the spot. Have all your information with you just in case they are ready to go forward with employee right at that time. Okay, so during the interview, your confidence, professionalism, and personality are major factors that are just as important as education or massage skills. So maintain a positive attitude throughout the interview. Stay relaxed, smile, and make eye contact when answering or asking questions. Okay, and be prepared. They may ask you to do an audition massage too. So just be prepared for that. So if they do, I mean, I think with the positions that I applied for, I think it was Spa Concepts at one time, and then it was Massage Envy at another time. I did have to do an audition massage with these companies, so be prepared for that. Just have your either the clothes that you would work on, or some extra scrubs in the car, or something like that. Who knows what they'll have you do on that first day. Um, so performing the audition massage, you might be asked to massage the interviewer or someone else as the interviewer observes. Both of these companies had a lead massage therapist that I had to do the massage on at the time. That's a big thing now. When I first started out, the lead massage therapist, they have like a specific, I guess the lead is the supervisor over whatever area that they have within there. So the estheticians had a lead. The receptionist probably had some kind of lead at some point too. The nail technicians, the cosmetologists, all these people had a different lead. So you perform the massage and then you interview. Be prepared for multiple interviews sometimes too. Sometimes you have to have an interview with management, then that lead therapist, and somebody else. Who knows? But I know a lot of people are doing multiple interviews these days, so that may be something you be prepared for. Okay, so take in consideration the style of massage provided by the business and administer the massage according to the client's intake responses. Ask for feedback concerning the recipient's comfort about, these are all the things that we've learned about. We ask for feedback. When you do clinicals here, we ask for feedback um, about the massages that we do. That's something that you can do. Practice impeccable draping. That's something that we work on here as well. Just make sure, I mean, you'll know how to do a massage. You'll know about draping, all those things. Those are things that we practice on a daily basis so that we don't have to practice to get ready for that right there. That's something that we're doing daily. So it's not anything that we have to get ready for because we're already ready at all times because we're doing proper draping and we're doing proper massages all the time. So okay, so following the interview, as the interview draws to a close, restate your interest in the position and include the strengths and skills that you can bring. And ask when a decision will be made and how and when you may contact the employer shows your consideration and also reinforces your desire for the position. Shake hands with the interviewer and thank him or her for taking the time to meet with you and let them know that you will be in touch. You can leave a business card. That is a professional gesture and gives them another means to contact you. So if you haven't heard from them in 24 to 48 hours, I will give them a call after that to see how they plan to move forward with the position so that if they don't choose you, then you can move on to the next thing. If you have the job, you'll know then. So those are some things to know about if you're thinking about going to apply for a position to work inside a spa or something like that. Okay, so the last thing I want to talk about is communication. I am very big on effective communication as a massage therapist. Um, there are way too many customers come to me, a person with good communication skills, and they talk about the therapist that they had that was flaky and had terrible communication skills. So I'm big on promoting effective communication with your client. So this is the day of the internet. So communicating with clients occurs via so many tools. That includes I'm not sure who still has landlines, but there are landlines still out there. So cell phones, emails, texting, instant messaging, online scheduling portals, and through various social media platforms. My clients communicate with me most of the time through text message. My clients rarely email me these days, so it's through a text or they're going to call me directly. New clients may message me on Facebook sometimes, but that has even gone to the wayside. So text message is the main method of communication between me and my clients these days. That's the method they prefer, and I'm all for it. Communicate effectively with clients and potential clients, regardless of which tools you and your potential and regular clients prefer to use. It is vital to use proper communication techniques and strategies. Okay, so advertising and social media. As a start, your telephone number, website address, email address, and or social media links should be in all print ads as well as your business cards, websites, and social media profiles. Very good information. So yeah, make sure you have all of that on everything, always for people to communicate. Yes.
2 questions. Number 1, does the state require you to have your license number on everything that you put out there too?
Yes.
Okay.
They do.
And number 2, do you have any tips for managing all the one person's going to email you, one person's going to text message you, one person's going to call and leave a voicemail? Like, do you set a time where you check all those things?
I used to. When people used to leave me voice messages, my clients don't leave me voice messages anymore. They'll go ahead and text me. I made a time when it got to the point where people were doing that. This has been some years back now. They just don't leave voicemails. I made a time. I set a timer on my phone. As soon as I got there at 9 a.m. in the morning, it was a message that came through. Return all voicemail messages right now. In my voicemail, at one time it said, I will return your call within 24 hours. Usually it was that time at 9 a.m. the next day, whether that was 24 hours or not. I would, if you're going to have clients, and you will have some clients that they're only going to call you, and they will leave you a voicemail. And yeah, I mean, you're going to have to call them back because they're not going to text you. They're not going to have any other method. Make a note inside your phone, and I have a to-do list now. So if it was something like that people were still doing that, I would make a note in my to-do list to call them back every day. But it never happens like that. Not these days for me personally. But that doesn't mean you're not going to have any elderly clients that are only going to call you on the phone. Mm-hmm. So make a note in your phone of your to-do list. Okay. Yep, that's the best way.
Do you have a routine, though, I guess is what I'm asking of? At this time, I'm checking phones and texts, and then, like, or between clients, do you check things?
I do. I check these in between. And if it's time for me to address something right then, it's got to be something quick. If it's not quick, it's happening at the end of the day. At 2 o'clock when I completely finish for the day, then I'm looking through things where I have a little bit more time to address something. Mm-hmm. If it's really quick and I'm able to send a quick message, I'll go ahead and send a quick message, confirm an appointment or something like that. Most of that's done in between my clients, where Square has it really easy where if I need to go in, I still have to confirm my appointments. If people book online, I have to confirm every single appointment, just to make sure everything is on the up and up. And, if I have to get back with the client, most time it's regular clients. Sometimes it's new clients. I did have a new client today where they just wanted to know, there's only a 30-minute available. Is there a 50-minute available? Or, just let me know if anybody cancels or something like that. I was able to send them a message real quick. That's not available today. That's available on Friday if you want to move to Friday. Small messages like that I'm able to do in between clients. But otherwise, just waiting until the end of the day when I have a little bit more time to figure anything. So either at 9 a.m. in the morning when I first get there, or 2 o'clock in the afternoon when I finish for the day.
Okay.
Okay. Yep.
Thank you.
Mm-hmm. Okay, so answering client inquiries. So regardless of the tool used, the person answering client inquiries should know how to do the following: answer calls and emails professionally and in a courteous, friendly manner. And I will say that on most of the sites, so social media sites, Square, they always have like where you can have an automated message that goes back out that's saying, Facebook has, I can return your, this is an automated message. It lets them know that it's automated. This business is closed for the day. They open at such and such hours. So you can, make the message what you need it to be, until you're able to get back to that client the next day. So everything can be automated. Who else has that? Square has it so that Square even has an automated, it's like a computer. So it will answer. It can book appointments for the clients. So if the clients, they send you a message and they say something like, "Is there any way I can change my appointment to this day?" Square has this little intelligent little computer where it says, "That's not available, but this is available on that day." So Square, they even have it so that they can actually book appointments for the client. If the client needs to change the appointment, it will have an automated system to rebook your appointments as well. So make sure, it will book, the computer will communicate with the client back and forth and rebook the appointment. Yeah. And my clients think they're talking to me sometimes. And I have to get back on. I'll see, like, they'll send me a message, be something off the wall, and I'll be like, I have no idea what they're talking about. Go into their messages. Square has had a whole conversation with this client, and they're saying, just random things about their appointment, and then I'll be like, I'll answer the question, but then I'll let them know you were communicating with Square. Sometimes the system is automated, and I like it like that, but they need to have something. That's not always specific. They don't always tell them that they're communicating with a computer and not the actual person. So I have to tell them at some point, that wasn't me, but everything's all good though. So, but yeah, those things come in handy when you're an individual business owner and you're doing everything yourself. Having those little conveniences like that really do come in handy. I can appreciate those things. Okay, so give accurate information about the business and its services while encouraging potential clients to make an appointment. I would say have something somewhere. You're going to get so many questions. How much are your massages? That is the top question. I started getting my menu, taking a picture of my menu, and putting it as a picture on my Facebook page. That will eliminate a whole lot of questions on Facebook, of how much, or keeping that picture in your phone and being able to send that directly to the client when they ask that.
This is lazy, but a lot of times, like, I don't do anything if I don't know how much it's gonna be. Like, I'm not gonna call. Like, I'm not gonna make a phone call.
That's why I want, clients to know upfront, this is what this is, and that price isn't changing. I don't have prices that switch according to whatever bill I have and all that stuff like that. I don't play those games right there. I'm gonna send you a picture of this menu. This is what everything costs right here. Be very clear about the prices of your services. And while I'm thinking about this, make sure that y'all are, when you set your fees for your services, make sure that as you go along in the years, make sure you're doing price increases. As the economy changes, make sure you're giving yourself raises. Don't go 10 years like I did and not change a price in your fees.
How do your customers tend to feel that?
They were perfectly fine at 10 years because they hadn't had a price increase in 10 years. Like, well, one told me, it's about time. I mean, I didn't know when you were going to change them, but I mean, she was like, well, we had a good run for 10 years. But I mean, she's still here, but she understands that she's a business owner as well. So she knew I hadn't changed my prices in all these years, but it was just something where once I got on even footing, I was like, I've done discounts. I've done these things right here. I had gotten to the point where I was on even footing with those prices that I had, and I was still doing well. But you have to make those price increases according to how things are going out here. Gas probably had went up at that point. Groceries were going up. I mean, that made no sense to me. I don't know why I did that for so long, but it should have been a price increase. I say if not every year, every couple of years or every few years, take a look at what's going on out there and, give a little small increase. I did like some of my massages at one time. At that time, I did $5. I went up $5 on everything.
Did you announce it? Like, is that something you would put on Facebook and just
Yes.
let them know, like, hey, just let y'all know?
On January 1st, prices are going up, this right here. And then sometimes I would do, I think one time I just did the 80-minute massages. It was like, I'm going to go up on this price because it never felt on my booking site. The 80 minutes are the first ones to go every single time. Yes. People, if they see the longer time, they're going to pick it every single time.
I would have thought it was the opposite.
No, I'm not discouraging 80 minutes, but it's more work. And after that, I did that 10-year stint without giving one, and then I did without raising the prices. And then I went, I think, 2 years, and then I just did the 80 minutes. I went up probably like $2.50 or something like that. So because I was like, that is more work. I do need to give an increase somewhere, but I didn't want to increase everything on the menu. So yeah, that's just something to think about. Make sure you're doing increase every if not every year, every 2 years.
When you're doing your pricing, do you like look at surrounding massage therapists and see what they're charging?
I haven't been lately because I'll know I know I'm below a whole lot of people around here. So anything that I raise my prices to, it's still going to be lower than everybody else's. I'm not trying to get to the point where everybody else is. Not necessarily. I'm just trying to just do it for myself, with, the
Having
things.
the lower prices, though, you may still be making more just because people are going to want to go where the prices are lower.
That exactly. So I think I do just as much business as everybody else or more because my prices, I've kept them on the low side of it, but I do more volume, probably than everybody else. I'll have to work a little harder, but I'm not
You
stressed.
probably have more client retention.
Yes, I'm not stressed about where my money's coming from at any time. And not to say that they may be doing, this bolo. I don't know. But I know that I'm never stressed because my book is full from, at the beginning of the month, I can see where all of my income is coming from them for the month. So I'm not necessarily thinking it may not be doing that type of volume. So that's always helpful to me.
I'm a lot more likely to do something repetitively if it's not, like, if I don't view it as like a super big amount of money.
Like, and a lot of people think like that.
Do it like every 2 weeks if I'm like, yeah, it's just however much money. But if it's a bunch, like getting my hair cut, I never get my hair cut because I'm like, do I really need to spend that money? But seriously, if it was probably like $10 cheaper, I'd be like, oh, it's only, like my brain, the way numbers work in my brain is very hot and cold.
A lot of people think just like that too. I think my clients think just like that too because my clients are booking before they walk out the door. It's not even a second thought, before if they're halfway, if I'm not forgetting that they have to book their appointment. Most of the time I'm not. And if they happen to forget or something like that, let's say that it does happen, they're coming back or they're calling me back. Oh, I forgot to book my appointment. Let me get that in. Or let me call you when I look at my calendar. And they're for sure going to call me. And once they get into that cycle of getting massages, they're going to get them on a regular basis. So that gives me comfort in knowing that I have regular clientele like that. So make sure that you're taking care of business on that end, and making sure that you're living well, and doing the proper increases that you need to be doing. So okay, so record a professional outgoing message for voicemail or answering machines. Take messages accurately and return all messages, texts, and emails promptly. Just like I was telling Stacey, make out a time that you can go back and return all those calls, and try to be as prompt as possible when you're saying or will be returned in a specific amount of time. Try to be prompt when you get back to the client. Okay, handle any complaints, online reviews, or other comments tactfully. That can be a hard one. I've had one bad review, and I'm not even sure if the customer was actually, I don't remember the customer ever coming to me. So they actually went on Google and they did a review on me, and I answered the review. This was during my Groupon days. And I was like, he does not look familiar to me. I don't know if I did it, but I had to get on there and act professionally because he was commenting on the size of my office. And I did have a small office at the time. So I don't know if someone else had came and got the massage. He was like, he called my office a hole in the wall. And he said, you get what you pay for. That's what he told me. He said, you get what you pay for. By the time I saw the review, I had moved down to a larger office. So I may have been a little snippy in the response. But I said,
so you know.
I said, well, we have moved to a different office now. So maybe you would like to return and get a massage in our larger office now. And something like that to that effect. But it's on Google somewhere where I got that little bad review. But like I said, I couldn't even recall that person coming in. But you have to respond professionally to these things. So as much as you want to get snippy with them, you kind of have to hold it back and be professional. Okay, so verify and confirm all scheduled appointments or services with clients and staff. Automated things, they'll do all of that. These automated systems will do all of that now. There are confirmations and everything that can be all automated completely. Okay, so screen calls, messages, and emails for red flags or inappropriate clients. It will be a season sometimes where they're just, I've seen it happen. It hasn't happened so much now, where you'll see like be able to recognize inappropriate things that are coming through email or on Facebook. There are all kinds of like little scams that are going on out there. Sometimes the one that I remember the most is someone messaging you saying that they have a construction company coming into town. They want massages for all of their construction crew, and they want to come to your business for massages. They'll say they have like 10 employees and they want to pay for all of those massages up front. And they will say, oh, okay, and then this is where the scam comes in. I'm going to pay you, but I want to pay you $500 over. And then I want, when I come in, I want you to, will you be able to give me change back or something like that? It'll be something crazy. But I mean, you've heard them all. You've heard them all once you've heard one. But yeah, it'll be crazy things like that. But it's always through message on Facebook or email. They're never calling you directly. So be aware of those type of things because it's happened more than once. But sometimes I'll play along with them. I did do this one time, and I played along with them. I was like, okay. So when did you want to come in? And all this stuff like this. I went along with the scam for a long time, but because I knew it was a scam, and I was like, I don't have anything to do for the next hour, so let me just go along with it. And they stop messaging when you when you take it as far as they take it. So okay, so Important numbers for the protection of your employees and clients. The following phone numbers should be displayed near your business telephone or where they can be easily accessed. Nearest fire station, usually that's just 911 for me. That's it. Call the fire department. Anything goes on crazy inside your massage establishment, just call 911. Okay, so general phone skills and things like that. Anyone who answers the phone must do so in a courteous, professional manner. So whether you have you're using like your cell phone, whether you're gonna get an outside line, a phone line outside of your personal cell phone, have a professional way that you answer the phone. Whichever way that you try to do it. Okay, so assuming that every call is a business call, that's the changeover that I had to do because at first I did everything one phone line, and I had to assume that everything, if it wasn't programmed into my phone, I had to assume that was a business call. So I mean, that's simply what you have to do if you're cutting back on expenses and want to use that one dedicated line. But how these phones are set up now I have an Android phone. Now, with these new Samsung phones, you are able to get two lines on one phone. So they are upgrading all of these things that, are going on within these phone lines. So you can get two phone numbers for one phone these days. So, okay, so the outgoing message should be pretty short and professional. I've had some of the long people are going to hang up if that message gets to be too long. So short and to the point, that's the best way to go. Um, Remember that business telephone bill. We talked a little bit about this telephone bill, business telephone bill. That's tax deductible. If you when you're using that line for business. Okay. All right. So that is basically what I wanted to talk to y'all about. That is the valuable information that I want y'all to make sure that y'all communicate properly and, make sure that you have how to do your resume if you're going out into the world and applying for different jobs. So, any questions about that? All this information?